Hi. So tonight I'm going to be working on another Halloween file. This one is a little cat dressed up in his Halloween costume, and he has his little witch hat on, and he has his little bat wings on, and he's all dressed up just like I would do to my cat if I was going to dress him up for Halloween. So I'm just going to go ahead and just take all these pieces apart so I can show you how this is going to look. So you can leave those parts off if you don't want those decorative pieces. You can just have plain bat wings if you don't want these decorative pieces. So you can do it that way as an option. You don't have to put the flourishes on if you don't want to either. You're just gonna skip the scoring stage. So there's that step that you can score. So I'm gonna take these flourishes off, and I'll show you that these are scored. And make sure you don't set this step to cut. You want to set that to score. So, and if you don't know how to score on, like if you have a Mira or an Eon laser, then you want to make sure that you are still going to set this to line, but you want to lessen the power, and you want to speed up your laser so that way it doesn't cut, because cutting is still set to line, but scoring you're just gonna just lessen that power. So so I usually set mine from cut. I usually do it at 100, the full power. I usually do this at like 30 power, and then I also speed it up just so I don't cut it all the way through. So all right, and I'm gonna take his little hat off. And you can choose to do the little heart nose or not. You don't have to. It's an option. So if you want to leave his little face blank, you can. I just thought it'd be kind of cute to give him a little heart-shaped nose. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this part off. So, and then we have our piece that goes in the back. So I'm going to paint his little wings. That's going to show through his little flourishes, his little flourish wings, his little costume. And that's all it's really going to show through here besides his tail. Because as you see that this is going to go right over it. So just these parts are going to show. I'm going to just go ahead and take this off. And I'm going to paint him a black cat. And I'm going to just go ahead and use some chalk paint. My usual black chalk paint from Folk Art. And you can get your Folk Art paint any craft store. They're about $10. For a big container like this. And I got all my brushes ready to go. So I'm gonna go through and just grab some black paint, and I'm gonna paint his wings. And this is pretty thick, so I only need one coat of this black. And one of these jugs is going to last you a long time. I've had the same jug a very long time. I think I bought it in 2020 and it's now 2024, so I'd say they do last. I mean, and I use mine a lot, so it's up to you if you want to use chalk paint or acrylics. I just like chalk paint. It just gives that nice farmhouse effect, but you know, it's up to you how you want to finish it. I just like to use the chalk paints. They're just fun. I think I started using chalk paints because I used to paint mason jars, and then I had all these chalk paints and I didn't know what to do with them all after I was done painting mason jars, so I figured why not use them on my projects. Some of these paints I think are even from like 2018. Some of them are not good anymore, but some of them are still good. So depends on how you take care of them, or some of them just kind of go bad on their own. So I don't know if it matters, but I've had a lot of these a long time. Okay, so there's his wings. I'm gonna get his tail. I wasn't sure if I was gonna add a tail or not to this guy, but I decided last minute to add a tail. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna go more curly-Q or whatnot, but I figured I'm gonna go ahead and just draw a little tail in there. And you know, I've never seen a file like this before. I don't know, maybe people are gonna think this is totally weird and off the wall, but I'm the kind of person that likes to paint or dress my cat up, in Halloween costumes. We used to have a little contest. I was a pet contest for Halloween costumes and stuff. And everybody brought their pets down to our local pet store and little costumes. I thought it was just so cute. I had this cat at the time, and she was just the sweetest kitty. And she just laid there. She didn't even care, but she was just a sweet girl. But it just kind of reminded me of that, dressing up our pets. So that's why I thought of this file. So I just haven't seen anything like that before. So I don't know. Maybe there's a niche market in that. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see if people like this or not. Okay, so he's all done. I'm just going to go ahead and put this over here. And I'm going to come back to my other kitty. And now, when I painted my raven, I noticed that when I painted black over these score lines, I could not see them again. So I'm going to be extra careful not to paint too dark over those this time, because then I really couldn't see them. So I'm going to be very careful. Try not to go too dark over those. And even when I added like the dry brushing over it, it was still really hard to see those score lines. So I'm going to try really, really hard so I don't cover those up too much. I probably will anyways. But just be careful if you are using black paint. Those score lines are kind of hard to see. So I should have used a bigger brush for such a big space. That was not a smart move on my part, but that's okay. It's just gonna take me a little longer. All right, so getting to those score lines, I'm gonna be really careful going over those, and you can kind of see. I'm gonna try really, really hard not to go over those too much. Well, I think you're gonna get covered up. Be very, very careful. Even if I just have like, part of them showing so I can have an idea of where they are. I just don't want to like ruin it for myself. I might just kind of leave part of them showing. That might be a good idea. I'm just gonna paint around them so I can see where those go. Just because I want to be able to see that. I had the worst time trying to see it when I was doing the raven. I'm like, I can't see where they are. And it was getting dark, and I had my lights on in the garage here, but it still was really hard to see them. All right. So if you are going to use black, just be mindful of that. Okay, so I'm just going to leave part of those showing so I can see where to put my flourishes. So I'm just going in between them, and I'm leaving those parts there so I can see where they go. Just make sure you have those in-betweens though. In-betweens, I don't even know what that word is. Just so that you get those. So you don't want to see like that MDF showing in between, the in-betweens. All right, get those in-betweens. It is still really hot here. It was like almost 90 today, I think. So it is, I'm not thinking Halloween, but pretty soon I will be. All right, so get all those in-betweens. All right. All right, there we are. So I'm gonna come back to this in a little bit. Just make sure I get all the spots that aren't gonna be covered by the hat. All right. And if you wanna put the nose on, it's up to you. Okay, so there's our little kitty. I'm gonna put him over here to dry. Okay. So I haven't decided what color I'm going to do the flourishes just yet, but I'm thinking maybe I'll do like that that orange color like I did on the Raven. I thought that looked really cool. It really popped. Here's his little bat wings. I haven't decided what color I want to do those yet. I might do them like a really fun color, but yeah, maybe I will do an orange. I'll do the orange color. Just make them really Halloween-y. Make it like it's a costume. I don't want people to think the cat has wings. Like, well, what is she doing? She has a cat with wings. No, it's supposed to be a costume. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put some glitter on this. I might do that. I'm just gonna go ahead and put some orange paint on here. Got a little bit too much there. Whoops. I notice this orange paint does need an extra coat. This is my usual orange that I use in all my videos. I love this orange. It's the DIY. It's the Debs. I don't know, Debs DIY. What is this? Debs. Debs Design Diary. And that Summer Crush is the color. All right. Okay, so he's gonna have some orange bat wings. Make it really fun. Probably should have went with like a purple or something, but we're gonna give him his hat purple. His hat's gonna be a nice purple. We're gonna really go with a lot of color on this one. I'll do lots and lots of color. Sometimes I don't go with a lot of colors, but this one I'm gonna go really, really colorful. And I went out of my comfort zone on the Raven and didn't do my flowers the typical blue like I always do. I used this color on one of the flowers, and then I did red on the other one. I was thinking red Raven. I don't know. I was thinking like a maroon would be really cool on that one. So here's our orange. So I'm just painting all these here. Just want to make sure I get a lot of paint on here. And I think I might get some glitter on this one. I think I'm just gonna I just have some glitter. I'm just gonna spray some glitter on it while the paint is still wet. I'll have to seal it when I'm done. So there's some glitter. And that's some really fine glitter. And you can see how sparkly that is. You can see how really pretty that will be. All right. Okay, I'm gonna get this out of the way so it doesn't make a mess and let it dry. I'm gonna do the same thing over here with this one. And that's just glitter that I use. It's just a glitter in a little container. It's just fine glitter. Nothing exciting. It's just glitter that I have in a little container. I think it's actually, I think it might be like a spray glitter or something. But I just wanted to try something new. So I'm just gonna get this really wet so that the glitter sticks to it. And with this kind of paint, it dries pretty quick. So I want to make sure I might have to do like a second coat because it's drying pretty fast. There we are. I feel like with Halloween, you can kind of go and try some really neat techniques like glitters and all sorts of like fun things, because that's the time to do it. And Christmas too. You can do some pretty fun techniques. Why not? I mean, it's supposed to be a Halloween costume. Go with glitters. All right. I got a new kitty when my other kitty passed away. So I wonder if she'd wear a Halloween costume. I don't know. I haven't tried that. She's only 2. So I don't know. She might not like that too much. All right. I'll move that so it doesn't get in my paint. Go ahead and put a little bit of that on there. There we go. That looks really pretty. I'm gonna seal it too when I'm done so that the glitter stays on. Okay. And there we have the other bat wing. I'm gonna set this over here to dry. Okay. I'm going to grab another paper towel because I don't want to get any of that glitter on anything. So I'm just gonna throw a paper towel on. As we all know, glitter just makes a mess. So I'm just gonna move this out of the way. And I'll come back to my orange paint in a little bit. You know what? Before I do that, I think I might do the flourishes. I might do those in orange too. Actually, you know what? I think I might do those in a purple. Just just add more colors. I don't know. Should I do them? I don't know. I keep saying I'm gonna do this, but I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to do them all in the same kind of colors. Alrighty. I have more glitters over here. I should try some other colors. We should really do a lot of cool glitter. Maybe I'll do them in orange before I put this away. I'll bring these back over. So I'm gonna bring this orange paint back before I put my glitters and all that away. I think I'm gonna do that. I like to just kind of change it up. I never have a plan. That's what I'm gonna do. That way it matches. I was gonna do purple, but why not? There we go. And there's our stuff here. Grab that again. This is the same stuff I did on the Raven, on those flourishes, to give it a little pop of color. There we go. I'm just gonna set that over here. All right. Our little kitty in a costume. The same thing again. Okay. There's another flourish. I'm making a mess with glitter. This is why I do this outside in my garage. I can't imagine what my house would look like if I did this inside. Okay, get that before it dries. All right, set that over here and get this last little guy. That's a really pretty one. All right. Try not to get the paint inside that little hole. Take some of my paint off to make sure I get that out of there. I don't want that paint to be in that little hole. There we go. And adding some more of that glitter. There it is. Okay, so we have our glitters. These are really pretty. Okay. All right, now that we are done with our glitter, I'm just gonna put a piece of paper towel down because because I don't want to get any of that in the rest of my paint. I'm going to put this away for now, and I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to put them over here with my bat wings to dry. Okay. Okay. There we go. Nice big clean surface again. So we have our hat, and I'm going to paint the hat purple. Okay. So I'm going to go with a brighter purple this time. So I'm going to go with this nice bright amethyst. I really want this to pop. Okay. I did the aubergine on the other one, but I felt like the purple just didn't pop enough. So I'm just gonna grab a brush, and we can always darken it up if we dry brush over it with a little bit of black, and we can always darken it. So I'm really going with a lot of color on this one. A lot of color. There we are. Our purple. Nice bright purple. And you can paint these however you want. This is just an example. I mean, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it. I mean, I don't really have a plan. I kind of had an idea I want to do purple, but it's totally up to you how you want to do it. When I'm designing it, I put different colors on the screen to try to see how I want to paint it. So I had the idea that I want to do purple for the hat, like a brighter purple. And I had blue in mind for the flowers, but I think I might switch that up too. I do blue way too much. I just do it for the consistency for the listings. But sometimes it's nice to just switch things. Just switch it up. There we are. There's our hat. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. And now I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna move the flowers. And we have our greens. We're only gonna paint the greens in this part. So I have my green paint. I'm gonna go with this green. It's called Manor Green. It's just a dark green. It's not too dark. It's more like a hunter green. I don't want to go too bright either. So I'm trying to stick with, you know, fall colors. I am gonna darken that hat up too, so don't forget that. I'm gonna probably dry brush or maybe use the art crayon to go over it. So I'm just gonna go through and put some greens on here. And I'll probably dry brush over these just to give them a little more dimension. I'm just gonna do these all the same. I'm gonna be boring. I can always add a little bit of like yellow over them too. Just dry brush and try some different colors. There we go. All right, running low on paint. Take some of this paint off on this one because I started off a little bit too much. There, look at all the extra paint I had on my brush now. Okay. Touch more paint. A lot of this chalk paint and this kind of paint, it goes a long way. And I did use MDF on this, which makes these little branches and little leaves really strong. So with birch, you may not, these may char and break easily. So I definitely recommend using MDF. Okay, so there we are with our greens. So you don't have to do the whole thing because you're going to be gluing the flowers over the top. So remember that. So you don't have to do that whole thing. Just do the greens. All right, and you don't have to do the greens on the hat either because this is going to cover. Okay. Now, this is our little moon. with our little bat. That's the center of our flower. And I'm gonna decide on what color I wanna do that flower. I'm thinking I might even go with, I was gonna do yellow, but I gotta do this yellow, the moon. So I probably won't do yellow for that. You know what? I don't want to do anything too close to purple either. I might do the red. Let's try red. I'm gonna try to change it up. I don't want to keep doing blue all the time. So I am gonna change it. I'm gonna do red this time. So I'm gonna do red. I'm gonna do red on the top. And I have this annoying fly that has been bothering me out here all evening. Oops, put way too much paint on there. It's been bothering me all evening. It's like this annoying fly. So, all right. So here's our small flower. I was going to do blue, but look at that. I changed it this time. Look at that. Tricked ya, I did red. Okay. It's like a burgundy color. Okay. I'm just gonna set that over here. And I am going to do my favorite yellow. Oh, this fly. I'm going to, oh my gosh, this fly just like hit me in the head. All right. Grab my mustard from Folk Art, and I'm gonna do this one here, this yellow. How's that? Really changing things up this time. I normally go with the blue, but I'm changing it today. I don't know what possessed me to change it up today. I just really feel like I've done blue way too much. I've been doing blue like since last year on these flowers. I need to have more variety. Okay. And while I have my yellow, I am going to paint my moon. I have to get more paint. I should use a smaller brush. I'm not getting enough paint on here. There we go. There's our moon. There's that. Just want to make sure I get enough paint on here. There we go. All right. And I still have my black paint from before. I want to make sure I get that little bat. So my brush still has some black paint on it. I'll get that little bat. There we go. So while I still have that black paint on my brush, I'm going to go through and I'm going to dry brush this hat a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to get those edges just to give it a little spooky factor. All right. Kind of gives it like some dimension. So it's not so bright purple. We don't want it too bright. I'll start looking cartoonish, and I don't want the cartoony look. I like it more folk arty. You know, I don't like that cartoon look. Some people really like that look, but I'm not into the whole like perfect edges and stuff. I like the more rustic look. There we go. I'm gonna get those edges, just darken them around the edges here with the black. All right. There we go. And just kind of blend it out with my fingers. All right, I was trying not to get my hands all full of paint today, but I'm gonna. I just know. Okay. Here we are. So there's our pretty purple hat. I really like that. That color came out really nice. Okay. So there's our purple hat. And I think I'm all set with the hat now. And I want to make sure I have that yellow brush because I really want to go through and just kind of use that, what was left on there. Oops, still had a lot of paint on there. I just want to make sure I just go through and just kind of highlight those leaves. There we are. Just kind of highlight them just so they pop, because if they're really dark, they're not going to pop on that hat, which is already pretty dark. There we go. And if it's a little bit more yellow, that's okay. I'll make them stand out more so than the other. Look at that. That looks really cool. All right. A little bit over here. Oops, a little bit there. A little too much. You can wipe it off with your finger. That's what's nice about this paint. You just get some on there, just wipe it off. There we go. There. So there's our little florals for our hat. And I think what I want to do for this part here, I'm gonna put that right on. I may want to dry brush that, but I'm not sure yet. I want to see how this looks. So I'm gonna put this here and see how it looks. Now I think it's too crisp, so I want to definitely dry brush this yellow. So I always want to make sure I like to look at it, see how I like it, and if it's, you know, I still have some orange paint maybe still on here. That's why I like to keep my brushes out. I'm just gonna go through and just kind of drag that orange paint on the edges. There we are. Because I just don't like it so perfect. I don't like that. I don't like when it looks too perfect. I like to kind of mess it up a little bit. There we go. All right. There. And one more petal. There we go. So there's our pretty flower. There's just a little bit of orange on the edges. There. Now I'm a little happier with that. Okay. And there's our red flower. That really pops on that yellow and orange. There, much happier with that. I don't think I'm gonna do anything to the red flower. I think I'm gonna leave it the way it is, because I'm gonna be putting the moon on here, but I do wanna use the art crayon, my black art crayon, and there's art crayon. These can be you can get on Amazon, or you can get them at like Joann's or Michael's. I definitely recommend starting with the black one if you're going to buy them. They do come in all colors. I'm just gonna, I got a little bit too much black on there. Kind of got a little bit there. It's kind of gross, this crayon. I gotta clean it off. So, and it's just a little, it's just gonna be a little spooky moon. There we go. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. So there's our little moon. And there's our little bat. And he doesn't want to go in there straight. These nails are killing me. I need to get these cut. They're getting way too long. So it's getting harder and harder to work with these nails. All right. So there's our little spooky moon. I probably won't do the yellow again in the future. Oh, these nails are really killing me. Just because I don't like that it looks so similar to the moon. So like I don't like having too much yellow. But we tried it this time. So something new. That's why I always go with the blue, because it's like opposite. So there's our hat. And now we're gonna come back and get our kitty, the back piece. And I do want to dry brush this so it really pops. I don't want this piece to look like it's like, oh, look at that. It's like one piece. I want this to look like it's definitely two pieces. So I'm just gonna set him off to the side. I'm gonna get my dry brushing, and I'm just gonna use maybe a gray to dry brush. I do have my gray from Folk Art. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of gray. I don't really like these kind of brushes for dry brushing. I like the ones that have like nice, like the bristles that are kind of tough. More like these types of bristles. I like these ones for dry brushing. These are really great for doing like big surfaces. These ones that with these really like thick bristles like that. So I'm gonna use that for my, oops, my goodness, I almost used the wrong color. So I'm gonna use this color for my dry brushing, and I'm gonna pat that paint right off because I don't want to start with too much. All right. So I'm just gonna drag that, and so you can see I still had too much on there. Just gonna wipe some of that off. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just grab those edges. Really want to focus on getting those edges. Oops. Really want to focus on those edges. There we are. And then you're gonna just, once you get those edges, and you're just gonna drift it right across. And look at my my score lines are trying to pop a little bit more now. So there's my, just gonna keep dragging it right across. It almost gives that same effect like as if you had, you know, taken a piece of sandpaper and just kind of scrape some of that paint off. So it gives you that same kind of effect. It's just a little bit of dry brushing. There we go. And now I'm going to get a little heavier now, because maybe he's a kind of a grayish cat. Maybe he's not all black. There we go. And if you feel like you did too much, take your black brush and just go back over it again. If you feel like, oh, like I don't like I did what, like maybe I don't like this here. I'm just gonna go back over it. Like I don't like this here. Just take your black brush and just go back over some spots. And just dry brush back over the spots. Here we go. All right, so there's our kitty. He's all dry brushed. All right, now I'm gonna move his little hat for a minute. Set him down. I just don't want to put him in that red paint. Still have a little bit of red paint there, a goober. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I want to glue on those flourishes. Man, I'm getting paint all over my hands. I said I wasn't gonna get paint all over myself this time. Of course I do. All right, so I have those flourishes, and normally I don't glue anything during the videos because I like to try to do them afterwards so I can really get a good eye for it. I like to get them right up to my eyes and get my glasses on and see right up close. But I'm gonna give it a shot. So I'm just gonna put all these caps back on. And I'm gonna grab my flourishes, grab my biggest one first. And you can see right where that is. All right, just wanna make sure I eyeballed it really good. There it is. And then, actually I think I'll wait so I have my glasses on because it's still kind of hard to see these. And then I see this one here. It's kind of hard for you to see on camera, I'm sure. I can see it in real life. Just want to move this up. There we go. And then we have another one of these flourishes. Oops, flipped over on my hand. This one's gonna go right along here. And then the last one, I can see it right at the bottom. You can see those little lines I left for myself. And they go right there. So there's his flourishes. Not sure if you can see that. So there he is. There's his little hat. Let me grab that. And, oh, I forgot to do his ears. Oh my goodness. Make sure you do his ears. Let me grab a little bit of black paint. Yeah, those are gonna show. Those are his ears on it for his sticking out of his hat. Gotta have his little ears. Almost forgot. There he is. And I'm gonna dry brush those real quick. There we go. His little cat ears. So don't forget to do his little cat ears. I'll move that away. And there we are. So there's his little kitty. And you could just leave him like that if you just want a little cat. That's totally up to you. If you just want just the little kitty, there he is just by himself without having the little wings. So if you're like, I just want to file with just a cat and a little hat, there you go. So that's an option. All right. So we'll come over here. Just don't want to get right in that paint. And then you're going to put him right on top. Okay. So there he is with his little tail and his little wings. So there he is there. We're going to come back now and grab his little bat wings. There he is. And we're going to you're going to glue those right on just like that. And if you wanted to add the nose, you can add the nose. There's his little wings. Oh, he's so cute. There he is. So there's our little kitty with his little wings and his little costume. And you can put his little nose here. And his nose was somewhere. I think I misplaced his nose. I started off with it, and maybe it's underneath the paper towel. But I will grab that, and we can paint that. Let me just find his little nose. Let me just move all my paints first. I think it's underneath my paper towel. That's what happens. So I'm just gonna move him. So there's our kitty. You don't have to put the nose on if you don't want to. That's totally optional again. So there's our kitty. There's his nose. There he is. His little nose, his little kitty nose, little heart. Okay. And you can put it right there. We can paint it pink. Little kitty nose. So if you wanted to do that, that's there. I don't know if I want to put the nose on or not. It's totally up to you if you want to. But that's his little nose. So there he is. I'm gonna grab a pink. Little pink kitty nose. So I think I'm gonna go with a really cute pink. And I'm just gonna grab this color here. Just a nice pale pink. I'm gonna grab if I have any more clean brushes over here. I may not. That's a big one. But I'm just gonna grab a corner of this brush. All right. I'm gonna paint his little nose. There he is. It's still wet. I don't want to stick it on there just yet. Let that dry. Okay, so I hope you like the kitty, and let me know how you like it. So this file will be available on Etsy at Winetopia, and yeah, so if you end up purchasing this file, let me know. You can reach me on Etsy and let me know how you like this this kitty with his little bat wing and his little Halloween costume. All right, I try to keep it a little shorter this time. Okay, hope you enjoy. Have a good night. Bye.